Hi, Today All Day. It's October and fall is in full swing. We've got a great show for you on this Friday morning. Let's kick it off with the latest pop culture news we need to know. Take a look.
It's a real special day around here. KRISTEN Welker, our Weekend Today co-anchor, chief White House correspondent, and really just great friend, is ready to come back to work after her maternity leave.
Yeah, KRISTEN and her husband, John Hughes, have spent a few months bonding with their beautiful baby girl, Margot Lane Welker Hughes, and we're going to chat with all of them in a moment.
Oh, my gosh, Margot.
Stop. Hello, cutie. But first, their inspiring journey to parenthood.
We are thrilled to announce that Margot Lane Welker Hughes was born early Saturday morning via surrogate.
It was the news we'd all been waiting for.
The moment I looked at her, we were just so deeply in love, and she looked back at me, and it was just the most incredible moment of my life.
It's been nearly 4 months of sleepless nights, too many diapers to count, and endless joy. Moments that KRISTEN Welker and her husband, John Hughes, do not take for granted.
John and I have struggled with infertility for years. And we're so excited to be able to announce that we, with the help of a surrogate, are expecting a baby girl.
KRISTEN, wow. Back in April here on Today, KRISTEN and John shared their excitement and also the heartache they faced on their path to parenthood.
After 2 years of trying to carry my own baby, and after having consulted with 4 different doctors, they all agreed that I wasn't going to be able to carry a child. It was probably the lowest moment and realization that I've ever had.
They considered a number of options and ultimately decided to move forward with the help of a surrogate.
Our surrogate has been amazing. For her, this was about giving something to us that she felt a deep connection to.
Last fall, KRISTEN and John learned that their baby girl was on her way.
Hi, sweet little girl.
Since her birth in June, baby Margot has spent a lot of quality time with her parents, sharing new adventures, many milestones, and lots of love and laughter. Oh, we can't take it. KRISTEN, John, and most of all, baby Margot. Good morning.
Hey, guys.
Good morning. It's so great to see you guys. Thank you for having us.
I don't know if
We're
we have any
excited to be
questions. We
here.
just want to say,
Yeah.
oh.
Just watch Margot.
Yeah. How you doing, guys?
We are doing great. We're doing so great. The last few months have really been, I think, the best of our whole lives. And we are just so in love with Margot. She is the love of our lives. And every day is a new adventure. And just watching the world through her eyes is the greatest gift and joy and blessing. So we're just doing so great.
Well, you've imagined motherhood for a long time. I know you've dreamt about it, and now it's here. So how do your dreams compare with what it's really like?
You know, Hoda, the funny thing is I spent so many years thinking about, dreaming about motherhood, struggling, fighting for this moment, and motherhood was even more amazing and is even more amazing than I could have ever imagined. And I think one of the things that just blows my mind every day is that I literally miss her when I'm not in the same room with her. And so that applies to those late nights. And when I do finally get her to sleep and everything is peaceful, I go in just to take a peek at her and just to visit with her a little bit longer. And John says, don't wake her up. Whatever you do, don't wake her up. But it's the most amazing, wonderful experience.
Hey, John, first-time dad. What's it been like? What's it been like for you so far?
Well, it's been a really wonderful experience. You know, it's completely changed everything. All the routines are out the window, but at the center of our lives now, we have this bubbly, talkative, you know, really spunky little bundle of joy. So we couldn't be happier. She's been a true blessing.
Nothing better than a Friday edition of...
Sell it, Uncle Al, sell it.
Pop Stars!
Yeah, I'm sorry, breaking. I'm just getting this now.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead. Okay. We're just hearing word now that beautiful baby Margot Lane Welker Hughes has just pooped.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's your update.
Thank you. Thank you.
She made a duty.
Thank you. Okay. Now it's your duty to continue.
And John's on it. There you go. First up, Super Bowl 56. Sure, football season may have just started. Sure, the Raiders are 3-0, but we're already looking ahead to the Super Bowl in Los Angeles. That halftime show is going to be awesome in February. The big game is here on NBC, and we now know the amazing halftime lineup of performers. They are Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Kendrick Lamar. They will all be headlining the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. All right, next up on pop star Mick Jagger, as the Rolling Stones continue their cross-country no-filter tour. They're also taking some time to stop and enjoy the local hotspots of cities that they're playing in. So Mick posting this photo on Instagram, writing, out and about last night in Charlotte. Now, you're probably thinking he's there at this bar surrounded by security guards, and the guards are keeping back fans who want to take selfies and all that. But no. It actually looks like no one noticed that Mick Jagger, the legend, was standing right there. Fellow bar patrons completely oblivious to the Rolling Stones frontman enjoying a beer at the counter.
Gosh,
and, of course, fans online couldn't believe it either. A couple of comments. Imagine running into Mick Jagger at a dive bar. Another writing, looks like you're just waiting on a friend. So the moral of the story is if the Stones are playing in a town near you, keep your eyes peeled at your local dives. Seth Meyers' show last night and shared some of the interesting reactions that he's received since announcing that he and his wife Scarlett Johansson have named their new son Cosmo, particularly how the name seemed to have confused his mom.
It is a unique name. How did your family react?
My family was very supportive always. My mom, I would say, was slightly thrown by it and didn't quite understand it. I don't know if she thought it was kind of like a hippie thing. She would call us and say, you know, like after 3 or 4 days, she'd be like, Cosmo. She'd be like, and now is it final? Like, did you submit the birth certificate? I'm like, oh, yeah, we did that at the hospital.
That's mom speak for I don't like it.
Yeah. Maybe it's a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah. Right. That's right, Cosmo Cream.
Oh, right.
Cosmo.
Welcome back. Today in the third hour, the gang dishes and all the latest. And as usual, they're not holding back. Check it out.
This morning, we're catching up with a Hollywood superstar, actor and model Elizabeth Hurley. She played a wide range of on-screen characters, such as the Queen, during 4 seasons of The Royals on E!
But one of her most significant roles is global ambassador to the Estee Lauder company's breast cancer campaign, for which she's a paid spokesperson.
And she is joining us this morning to mark the beginning of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Elizabeth, good morning. So good to see you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, you look radiant. It's great to have you with us. And interestingly enough, in a way, this is one of the longest roles of your life because you've been on this campaign since 1995. But yet, breast cancer has become the most commonly diagnosed cancer worldwide, which in a sense is a double-edged sword. We're diagnosing more of it, but yet we're seeing more of it.
Well, that's very true. And I think in the 26 years that I've been working on this campaign, whilst we have seen enormous progress in diagnosis and in treatments, you know, the fact remains that women are still dying, even though many less women are dying now than they were in the late 80s. Our mortality is actually down 41%, but there is, of course, more diagnosis and women are still dying, which is why, you know, our mantra still is it's time to end breast cancer. And, you know, we're not planning to stop until we've raised enough funds and enough awareness that breast cancer is a thing of the past.
Elizabeth, I can speak on this because I feel like sometimes there is a reluctance to go get screened. Like, you don't want to know, you think you're fine, you feel fine. And during COVID, certainly a lot of people put off their mammograms and their health screenings. What do you say to encourage women to really go out there and get this screening and do it because it can save your life?
Well, last year, as you know, it was actually quite difficult for some women to actually attend their appointments. And so we were really advocating self-check, self-check. I put this on my Instagram last October, and 2 girlfriends of mine, both in their late 30s, both saw my post, they both self-checked, they both found their own lumps. Oh. They both went to the doctor, they were both diagnosed with breast cancer. They'd found it early. They wouldn't have self-checked had they not seen that Instagram post, which I did on the behalf, of course, of the Estee Lauder Company's breast cancer campaign. So just from hearing from those 2 women, and of course, you know, thousands of women checked, those happen to be 2 friends of mine. But to me, that just says it all. You have to self-check. You have to. And you have to go to the doctor if you find anything which is alarming.
Yeah, and the campaign was created in 1992 and led by Evelyn Lauder. And I know that she gave you a special gift, probably the most important gift for your 40th birthday. Tell us about that.
She did. Evelyn gave me my very first mammogram, and she made me promise that every single year I would have one, which I've done quite a few years now. And you know, that was a promise I made to her because, you know, to her, breast health and trying to save the world from breast cancer was her mission. And my goodness, I mean, she made just the most enormous difference with her Breast Cancer Research Foundation and, of course, our campaign. And I do that in memory of her. And, you know, I would implore people, you know, it was particularly hard, I think, during the pandemic for people to find time for themselves in a way and to think about something which wasn't COVID. But, you know, our message stays the same. COVID doesn't stop breast cancer. And you have to put yourselves first. You have to self-check. You have to have regular mammograms. And you have to go to your doctor.
You mentioned you do this in memory of Evan and Lauder. And I know your grandmother, Ina, years ago passed from breast cancer. And I'm sure that she's very close to you, too, as you do this work.
I think so. I mean, she died just before this campaign started. She died in a world without a pink ribbon. And, you know, I think it would have been very different for someone like her had we known what we know now, had she been able to talk about breast cancer, which she didn't, had we known which treatment she was having, which we didn't, because breast cancer wasn't talked about then. It is now. So now, you know, I really hope that, I kind of think of it as like the dark ages of breast cancer. And now, you know, things are different. The landscape is different. We know so much more. And we're able to talk out and say to women, put yourselves first, keep checking.
And how much would she love the work that you're doing? Let's switch gears. On a lighter note, you and your 19-year-old son, Damien, who follows in your footsteps, he's also a model. You actually walked a fashion show in Milan recently. Talk to us about that. What was it like?
Well, I think that it was the very first fashion show we'd ever attended together. It was a very funny show because it was a combination of Versace and Fendi.
Ooh.
Therefore, it was called Fendace. So we went to the Fendace show. And you know what? It was absolutely great. I hadn't been to a fashion show in Milan for, I mean, more than 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So it was great. I saw old faces, old friends I hadn't seen for a long time. I remembered that I'd known Donatella for 27 years, ever since they first made that safety pin dress for me. And it was actually after staying home pretty much for 18 months, apart from filming, I hadn't really left the house. And it was great. It was really great. And my son loved it.
Oh my gosh, just like that dress.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that safety pin dress has its own Wikipedia page.
Wow.
It deserves it.
Well, we get the point. Elizabeth Hurley, thank you so much. Always great to see you. We really appreciate you stopping by. In fact, Elizabeth has penned an article about how she was inspired to become an advocate, due in part to her grandmother's breast cancer journey. You can read it at today.com/parents.
So fun to speak to her. I know, incredible and so important.
Welcome back today on Hoda and Jenna. We made it through the week, and we're going to leave you smiling as we head into the weekend. Check it out.
October 1st does kick off Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And all morning, we've been painting the town pink here on Today.
Yeah, and 1 in 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime.
Yeah. I think for a lot of people who get that diagnosis, and you know, it's so funny because when Breast Cancer Awareness Month rolls around, you know, you remember, you're like, oh my gosh, I remember that feeling of it happening when I was diagnosed many years ago. And I remembered thinking, like, how am I ever going to get through this? How am I ever going to be free of this? How am I ever going to get through the weeds?
And you are.
And I used to look for people who were through it on the other side, and you're like, you, like, and there's something about watching someone who's been through it. That's why all those breast cancer run walks and things are empowering, because you're like, that's what happens when it's.
I know. Do you know what's so interesting is somebody just asked me about you, and they said, well, you know, she's a breast cancer survivor, and I almost was like, yes, she is, but she's so many other things, too. I was like, she is, but she's really not defined by that. She's a mom. She's a girlfriend. She's a friend. She's a daughter. Like, that's one part of who you are, but it doesn't define you.
It's so funny because I think for everybody, some people have things that shape them and things that define them.
Yeah.
And I think if you say, like, who are you? And how you answer that question. Some people would say, even after 10 years, I'm a breast cancer survivor. Or some people may say, I'm a mother. or I'm a daughter, or whatever, however they see themselves. But I think certain things shape you and certain things define you.
And it shaped you,
It
right?
shaped me, yeah, it shaped me.
It's so awesome.
Okay, it's Meme Friday, so it's another edition of our weekly series.
A little meme time.
All right, so what we do is we post weird photos and you guys put your captions on them. They're all bad. Okay, I mean, the photos are bad. Your captions are funny.
No, your captions are good.
Your captions are amazing.
Are good. Us and those pictures are embarrassing.
Terrible.
Okay, so here's the picture.
Oh, God. Shave your armpits. That should be what it is. Did someone write that?
Mine would be 2 thumbs up with a question mark. Okay, well, Jennifer Bloom actually wrote, moms in the audience at the elementary school concert.
That's right. You nailed it. Okay, Nikki Weisner sent out, our wine shipment just arrived.
Yes.
Good.
Although you don't even drink wine anymore. Should we break that news here today?
Well, tequila is better.
No, she doesn't drink wine. For years, there were those wine glasses. That was all a ruse.
Well, it wasn't a ruse. I mean, Kath is very convincing.
True that. Okay, Dina Ann actually said, when your friend asks who's up for day drinking.
See? Some things never go away, thank God. All right, Adrian Kelly went with, when you sit next to Brad Pitt at the U.S. Open.
That is probably what I looked like, but underneath my arms, if you zoomed in, there'd be huge pit stains, nervous sweat. Aaron Kahn wrote, moms everywhere on the first day of school.
And Kate Rain suggested, when you realize they were waving at the person behind you.
That's so good, because haven't you ever been that person that's like, hey, hi, it's me.
And you slink off.
Okay, finally, our own staffer, somebody we love, Ben Bass, sent in, when you see your best friend walk up to their crush at a party.
You got it. If you want to join in on the fun, follow us on social media, HodaandJenna.com, and maybe you'll see your memes on the show.
I like their comments. They're so much better than the pictures. Okay, not only is it the first day of October, but another big day on the calendar. It's World Smile Day.
And you know what makes us smile? She's so fun. Comedian Amber Ruffin. She hosts Peacock's The Amber Ruffin Show. Amber. Wait, I saw you on Kelly Clarkson. Are you doing? You're very busy and important.
I'm a busy lady. I only came here because it's time to smile.
Oh, okay.
Smile?
Yeah, what makes you smile?
Okay, thank you for asking. You know what makes me smile?
What?
Fall.
Oh, really? Why?
Going for a nice autumn walk and drinking a hot apple cider. That makes me smile.
Beautiful.
While I'm wearing my oversized turtleneck. When I'm in that big old wool turtleneck, I think, it's fall. It's time to gain weight. 20 more pounds and no one will be the wiser, and that makes me smile.
It's true.
Oh, that feels
Except for
so
the
good.
issue is we all did that during COVID, so it's not 20 pounds, it's like 40.
It's an additional large amount of pounds.
Additional.
It's an additional 2 sizes.
Wow.
You know,
What else makes you? What else
I also like shopping for fall clothes. That makes me smile because I start looking for the perfect pair of brown boots on the first day of fall, and I do not find them until the last day of winter. I spend the entire fall in black boots with no brown.
No.
Why is it hard to find a brown boot?
I don't know. I want them to be tall. They have to be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tall, comfortable, the whole. Okay, who else is on your list?
Oh, thank you for asking. Billy Porter. Billy Porter's outfits make me smile. I truly love him so bad. Okay, look at this outfit from the Elizabeth Taylor Ball to End AIDS. It's beautiful. He looks like he is the king of ribbons, and I am obsessed. And look at this one from the Global Citizen Festival this past weekend. He looks like he is a sweet baby bird.
He is so
It makes me smile, and it also makes me think, could he go full bird? Well, watch out, because he definitely did.
What?
Oh, yeah.
He went full bird at this year's Emmys.
Yeah, he looked great.
Oh, he makes me smile. He looks like a beautiful raven who swooped down from above just to make us smile. And here he is, a vision in maroon. Look at him. And these aren't even all of his looks from this month.
No.
I know, he really does. Can you imagine, like, dressing that great for everything?
He really handles fashion the way we all should. Everyone should be having that much fun.
I know.
Every time we leave the house.
We can't. Will you help us dress? Because we can't look like that.
I can't even find brown boots.
All right, what's last on your list?
What's last on my list is what should have been the first. It's ice cream. Ice cream has made me smile my whole life. I'm lactose intolerant, and I don't give a rip.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I love ice cream, and I will eat it until it kills me, which is what it feels like it's trying to do.
Okay, well, then you know what? Since
we
you said
make
so.
you smile, Jerry. Will you bring out some ice cream? rip, Chris.
Are these good for Amber?
No, she don't get a rip.
I'm eating it.
Rip is the word.
And by the way,
I didn't want to say that.
You know, Hoda's also lactose
I don't
intolerant.
care.
Y'all are
Let's get
sisters in
Let's
the lactose.
take a bite.
Okay.
It's not going to kill us.
No, not going to kill me.
I think this is definitely. How is it?
This is
Worth it.
it's perfect.
Thank
It's
you,
ice cream.
Jerry.
It's always perfect.
Thank you, Jerry.
I'm going to test
Sunday.
my
really good.
boundaries of my marriage later.
You sure are.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
Season 2 of the Amber Ruffin Show. It starts streaming next Friday, October 8th, with new episodes dropping every Friday on
Amber,
Peacock. Thank
you,
Amber.
honey.
You're
Good
the best.
seeing you.
We are still talking about teenagers.
We are
But
not.
it's time for another Consumer Confidential, all about what to buy and what to hold off on this month.
Our investigative and consumer correspondent, Vicki Wynn, she's got the latest on deals, shortages, more. So let's start with the headlines here, from worker shortages, cargo ships. We keep hearing about these supply chain issues. How is that affecting retailers? How is that affecting products?
Yeah, so before we get to what to buy and when, we got to talk about kind of the backdrop, which is this pandemic. And everything we're seeing right now is such a reminder of how globally we are connected by our economies as well. For example, what's happening in Vietnam right now is what happened to us a year and a half ago in the States. Lockdowns, high cases of COVID. Well, Vietnam makes a ton of sneakers, apparel, consumer goods. So when there are worker shortages there, factories are shut down, we see the results here. Nike, Adidas, toy maker Hasbro, they've all acknowledged to CNBC they're dealing with higher freight costs. Demand is up for all of these things, but it's getting them here in a timely fashion and at a cheaper cost. Target and Walmart are going so far as to chartering their own freight services to try to rein in the cost. But we're going to expect to see these issues for the next several months and certainly through the holiday period.
Right, and the trick to it is if you want something now, you should buy it because, right? Is that for everything? Because you don't know if it's going to be available closer to the holiday.
Yes, if you can, you absolutely want to buy things. And when it comes to consumer goods, household goods, the number one thing we want people to do is to not hoard because that creates even bigger problems for everyone else. So the advice here is buy what you need right now and maybe a little bit extra if it is on sale, but don't stockpile the way that people did during the pandemic. There is enough. It's just taking a little longer to get to stores. You're also seeing chains like Costco just last week saying, we're going to put limits on water bottles and paper towels and toilet paper just to help everyone get what they need because it's available if we don't hoard.
People get so much.
Yes.
By the way, I just throw this out. Get a vacuum sealer. It's the greatest thing going.
Oh, to keep the food fresh?
Keep your food fresh. And you can buy in bulk and save. Anyway, Deborah hates it because it makes so much noise. Halloween is coming up, but it's right now the beginning of October. So I would think now's the best time to buy your candy and your costumes.
Now is the best time to buy if you're looking for a complete selection and choice.
Yes.
At the end of the month, even on Halloween itself, which falls on a Sunday this year, that's the best time to buy if you want a deal. If you want to go even further, we have been known to do this in our house. If there's an expensive costume you're looking for the kids, if you can estimate how big they're going to be next year, you buy it the day after Halloween, and that's going to be the cheapest. But of course, DIY is the best thing to do if you can do that. That is, I think, my second daughter, Odessa. We squeezed 2 out of 3 kids into this costume. My husband made this. So you know what?
What?
He made his best.
Wow.
With foam and a glue gun, and then on the left there, that's just cardboard and felt for the butterfly. We used some fairy wings that we had at home. On the right, that donut, more felt. It's about 30 pounds, though, that costume, by the time you put all the stuffing in it. But you know what?
He is amazing.
He is pretty good. I got it.
Family.
Major props to him.
And you know I love a deal, but now a lot of these stores are doing their deals earlier this year, right? Starting soon.
This is really interesting. So Amazon just announced and confirmed to CNBC it's having this beauty haul event. Starts on October 4th, goes through the 25th. They're trying to capitalize, Jill, on all the
December
beauty products.
25th.
October. Yeah, it's just in October. They're going to do men's grooming kits, winter skincare, fragrance, major deals because everyone turned to online shopping to get their beauty products. Target, this is my favorite thing. So October 10th to the 12th, they're doing deal days. But they're also doing something else to encourage you to shop earlier. If anything you buy between October 12th and December 24th, right?
Yeah.
You get it. Let's say it goes on sale. There's a price drop. You're so annoyed because you got it because you needed it.
Sure.
But then now it's way cheaper. Target's going to match the price.
All right.
So that is good to know.
Real quickly, what should we avoid buying in October?
Cookware and appliances. When November hits and everyone gets in the mood to cook, except for Jill when she makes her tuna dip/sandwich, that's when cookware and appliances are going to go on sale. So you want to wait for November, and same with the electronics. Wait for Black Friday. You too much. As Jill said, she supports you in everything you do.
No, I didn't say anything. Jill just shut me a down.
Well, I'm so excited because Vicky's going to stay around for the rest of the show.
Stick around.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.